Linda Dean, Managing Director at Total People, and I'm part of the executive team for the LTE group as well, so it's a bit of a dual role. Started at Total People in February last year, so February 2017. At Total People, since February 17, I've had the role of Managing Director, and then I was appointed to my first MD role in November 2012. Really interesting. Quite a few people have asked me in terms of, well, how did you plan to get where you are, and was it a challenge to get where you are? But the reality is, I didn't actually plan it in that way. There wasn't a morning when I got up and thought, actually by 2012 I'll be a managing director. My approach has been really very much just to do the very best that I can in every role that I've been in, and then to see where that's led along the way. At the moment, what I really want to do is work with the team at Total People to deliver the vision that we've got through to 2023, and to work with the team at LTE to deliver that vision that we've got in terms of the group and getting the benefit of group. Not thought beyond that, really. There's I think it must be a really long list on this, from Forbes to McKinsey, and probably every leadership and management book has a view on it. The only thing that I can share is my experience of leaders that have been great for me. So some of the things in that context would be humility, real understanding of the people in the organisation, so lots of listening, lots of questioning, lots of pride and a connection with the organisation, both a emotional connection and intellectual connection as well, and ethics and honesty, so leaders who make the best decision for the organisation, not for themselves as individuals. And last but absolutely not least, great communication, and by that I mean communication that means people clearly know what's expected of them, and people clearly know what the direction of travel of the organisation is, and most importantly how they can contribute to that, be part of that, get involved in that, and engage with that. So for me, that will be my experience and my list. I go for two actually, so I've been really fortunate in that I once spent some time with Pauline Clare, who then was the first female Chief Constable of Lancashire, and was chatting to her about the decisions she needed to make in terms of sending her police officers into turbulent and dangerous situations. And her response to that was that I always make the best decision I can with the evidence that I have available at the time. Now that might change 10 minutes later, or 10 hours later, or 10 days later, but I've made it with the best evidence that I've got, both factual data but also intellectual. So I think a real leadership lesson there in terms of making evidence-based decision making to support the best decision possible. My first appointment to Managing Director was by the Chief Exec then of NCG, Dame Jackie Fisher. And I think a really important leadership lesson that I got from Jackie was about authenticity. So as a leader, she did some things that were brilliant, and I thought, yes, absolutely, I can adopt those. She did some things that were brilliant but weren't quite me, but I could adapt them. And she did some things that were brilliant that were absolutely not me, and I would never ever use. But it was about taking the best but being authentic to yourselves. So evidence-based decision making, authenticity from two great female leaders. I think it's about, and I've mentioned this a few times, it is very much about authenticity, and it's about that clarity of your contribution as a leader, regardless of gender. I also think for many people there are a number of networks that are really, really helpful. be that the Northern Powerhouse Women's Network, Women into Leadership, and there's also a series of leadership qualifications that are female based, that for many people can create a network and support and enable a journey. I think I've been fortunate, particularly in this sector and certainly for the last 15 years, in that I've worked with really well balanced executive or senior teams, both female and male. When I worked in private industry, it was slightly different, and I'm well aware that across a number of industries it's incredibly different. And FTSE 100 executive board positions are predominantly male. I think in terms of achieving prominence, I mean, for me it's about authenticity, so it's about being authentic with yourself as a leader, as opposed to focusing too much on your gender. So I suppose it's not what you should do, it's what you should not do for me, is try and do things in a particularly masculine way, because you feel that sits or will work better. It's about doing the best job that you can do in an authentic way for yourself.